Streaming on CrossroadsToday.com. A local tradition reaches a major milestone. Why this celebration means more than you might think. And a local school district takes a closer look at something important. What they're reviewing tonight affects everyone. Plus, the government makes a major admission about a deadly disaster. What they're now saying.
And today, guess what's coming back? It's the sun, and that's going to heat us up a bit today before we have a cool front tonight that'll make it nice for just one day, and then we're warming up for the rest of the year. All that in the weather coming up.
And Bay City North Bureau revealed their all-district awards. Find out some of their top honors later on in sport.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. All right, Crossroads, we're in the home stretch to see whether Santa thinks you've been naughty or nice this year. We'll find out in 7 days.
7 days, that's right. Santa will be making a visit at all of our houses here in about 6.5 days because he'll be here Wednesday night.
That's true.
But before he gets here, he may be looking at the weather forecast and being like, oop, let's skip Texas because it's going to be a bit warm out there and it won't feel like the North Pole, that's for sure. We'll look at all that later because one thing Santa also might run into next week is some of this, some fog, which we got out there right now. You can see looking southeastern Victoria, a little bit of dense fog out there. We're looking at visibility right here in this picture at about less than 1/4 of a mile, but some areas are experiencing worse visibility than that. And we'll look at that map in a second because we're seeing this fog this morning because temperatures are falling down to the dew point, 63 on both ends, and underneath the calm to very light winds, we're seeing that air turn into supersaturated air. So make sure to stay safe and be careful if you're going to be hitting the roads because it's not just in Victoria. Like I said, it is all around the Crossroads and all South Texas, all the way through Louisiana. We have dense fog advisories, like I said, all of South Texas and a good majority of the state of Louisiana. So if you're sending your kiddos at the door this morning, that means, of course, stay safe on the roads, unless they're getting on the bus. Let the bus driver do that. But today, I don't think they need a jacket because look at this. We're going to be warm. Those details next.
The H-E-B Feast of Sharing celebrates 35 years of giving back to the Crossroads community. Last night, 25 News Now weekend anchor Amaya Norman covered how this beloved event brought warmth and joy to the area.
Music, dancing, laughter, and smiles filled the room as the community gathered for a holiday tradition 35 years in the making.
H-E-B has had a long-standing tradition of just serving the communities that we serve. We love when you shop in our stores. It enables us to come back out here and serve those that have contributed to things that we have had. And so it's really important for us to be here today, sit with our customers, say thank you for being our customers, enjoy the holiday and Christmas spirit ahead of you, and have this hot meal at the same time.
The annual Feast of Sharing once again opened its doors, welcoming families, friends, and neighbors to come together and celebrate the season.
Holidays, food brings people together, and it's better to have a hot meal together, sit here, enjoy entertainment, and just enjoy the holiday festivities.
But for organizers, the mission goes far beyond food. And for some community members, this event is the best thing to happen in the community.
It's good for us to come together as a community because it shows us how much we care for one another, and it just makes the community a better place with one another. And without each other, we wouldn't be a community that we are today.
After 35 years, the Feast of Sharing continues to prove that sometimes the best way to spread holiday cheer is simply by coming together.
This year, H-E-B aimed to serve 5,000 people, offering not just a meal, but a sense of belonging. And Victoria ISD held a safety and security meeting to review events around the district. They covered emergency plan updates, weekly door sweeps, and fall maintenance checks. School officials report all doors are working properly, and the Board of Trustees will dive deeper into the district safety audit this evening as part of their regular monthly meeting. They'll also discuss Texas Senate Bill 546, which requires seatbelts for passengers on school buses, and intruder detection audits. The board meeting starts at 6 this evening at the Victoria ISD Administration Building on Prophet Drive. The U.S. Department of Energy is reviewing an application to build a deep-water terminal near Matagorda. STLNG proposes a facility to export up to 8.4 million metric tons of liquefied natural gas annually to countries worldwide. The energy company claims the project will create over 1,000 jobs and bolster the U.S. position in the global energy market. As the review process continues, some environmental groups express concerns, stating the facility could generate over 3 million tons of greenhouse gases annually. And here are some of the top headlines from the Cuero Record. STX Archery and Outdoors officially welcomes its newest group of youth pro staff shooters. During the Christmas holidays, families are invited to explore local in your own backyard museums. For more of these stories and more, visit DeWittCountyToday.com. Now to an update on the mid-air collision over Washington, D.C. from last January. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio shares the latest on the crash that led to several fatalities.
It was a disaster that raised new safety concerns in the sky. An Army helicopter colliding with that American Airlines jet over the Potomac River in the crowded Washington, D.C. airspace, killing 67 people.
I have no viable survivors at this point.
Now, nearly a year later, the government is officially accepting blame, calling the deaths tragic. In a new court filing, Justice Department lawyers writing, quote, "The United States admits that it owed a duty of care to plaintiffs, which it breached. The plaintiffs include victims' families who've sued. The original lawsuit claimed officials knew the risks, that because of their failure to analyze data on previous near misses, this mid-air collision was tragically an accident waiting to happen." The government denies some of the specific allegations in the lawsuit, but generally admitted liability. The admission coming the same day the Senate passed the annual defense bill, which includes a provision allowing military helicopters to fly without broadcasting their location, something experts say led to January's deadly crash. The head of the NTSB fiercely criticized that provision.
If it sounds like I'm mad, I am mad. This is shameful. It reverses safety changes made after the mid-air collision.
And senators were listening because after passing the defense bill yesterday, they made the rare move of passing a separate measure to require all aircraft in D.C. airspace to broadcast their location. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
Last night, President Trump addressed the nation from the White House, primarily focusing on the economy. He asserted that the economy is stronger than ever, claiming he inherited high prices from former President Biden. The president also mentioned he would announce a new Federal Reserve chair soon, emphasizing it would be someone who believes in lower interest rates. Additionally, he repeatedly insisted that the affordability issue is a Democratic hoax. A student who was stabbed with scissors during a classroom fight at a Houston area high school on Wednesday has died. Police responded to the incident at Ross S. Sterling High School in Baytown at around 10:40 a.m. The altercation involves two male students, resulting in one stabbing the other with scissors. The Goose Creek CISD Police Department will lead the investigation. And here are some of the top headlines from the Port Lavaca Wave. The Seadrift City Council has settled out of court with former Seadrift police officer James Easley, agreeing to pay $17,500. Calhoun County is home to one of the oldest populations in the state. A report from the Texas Demographic Center indicates that by 2060, it's projected to age even further. For these stories and more, visit PortLavacaWave.com. And for more local news, weather, and sports, come to our website, CrossroadsToday.com. It's now 6:38 on our Thursday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up next on 25 News Now Sunrise. Millions are watching the numbers grow, the latest on what could be a life-changing weekend.
President Trump touting his record from the White House as a new poll shows many Americans remain unhappy with the state of the economy. I'm Nicole D'Antonio in Washington with the details this morning.
And also coming up next after the break in the short-term forecast, you heard me say the sun is coming back up today, and that's going to heat us up. So coming up next, we'll take a look and see how warm it'll be near you. Well, good morning, Crossroads, and happy Thursday, Friday Eve. I hope y'all enjoyed the rain yesterday because that's not in the forecast for the next 2 or more weeks. In fact, it's the opposite. A lot of sunshine and warm, not so December weather, which we'll look at in a second. Because looking at yesterday's rain totals, I want to let y'all know you can add about 1/4 of an inch to just about all these totals that you see on the screen right now, because we did have rain before 6:40 in the morning yesterday. This is last 24 hours, so since 6:40 yesterday. Some of us got up to about, we're talking 5 inches of rain down near Refugio, so I hope y'all are doing all right. That definitely likely led to some slight flooding concerns, but most of us ended up with just what I was thinking, about 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches. But all that rainwater has now seeped into the ground, and that is providing us with some very high humidity this morning for fog. So once again, please stay safe on the roads and be careful. You make sure to use those low beam headlights and increase your following distance between you and the car in front of you. But the fog that's out there right now, it'll clear up sometime around, I'm thinking about 10 a.m. this time, maybe as late as 11 a.m. But guess what else is clearing? Our clouds. Goodbye, clouds. That'll probably be out of our area by about noon, maybe afternoon time. And hello, sunshine. And that's going to warm us up a bit. Don't believe me? Today is December 18th, and we're looking for a high of 79 degrees, just about 80. And if we don't hit 80, I think we will this weekend, even with a cool front coming tonight, which we'll talk about later, because all the way through Christmas week, we're warming up once again, and we'll look at that next.
For highlights, Shiner and Yoakum football competing in the 2A Division II and 3A Division I state championship game starting about 5 hours time. We're going to look at some all-district awards. First with Bay City, as they revealed their district awards from this year, with the superlatives going to Defensive Lineman of the Year, Jordan O'Neal, Newcomer of the Year going to Braden Jones, and then their quarterback, Amarian Wiggins, getting Utility Player of the Year. And then shout out to the first team offense going to wide receiver Isaac Stinson, and then offensive lineman Cohen Nunos, and then first team defense going to Jazier Griggs, outside linebacker James Copeland, and other outside linebacker Devontae Harris, and then defensive lineman Trevon Burton. Congrats all of them for Bay City. How about Refugio? They actually were just one win away, believe it or not, to reach the 2A Division I state championship there last night. And shout out there to Hamilton winning the job done, winning their first title in school history up towards the Dallas area. But for Refugio, they lost last week to the Joaquin Rams and still had a great year overall. That was 13-1 season, and their offensive MVP went to Ray Lewis, co-offensive MVP going to Thor Bass, and then defensive MVP to Xander Wills, and then also co-utility player of the year going to Tabari Swain. So we see the full list. Go to crossroadstoday.com/sports. This is Max Williams, 25, News Now Sports.
We want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV. Just search for Crossroads Today Plus. In a primetime address last night, President Trump touted his economic achievements. However, ABC's Nicole D'Antonio reports on recent polls that reflect a contrasting reality.
Good evening, America.
In a rare evening address from the White House, President Trump touting his accomplishments and attempting to paint a rosy picture of the economy. Even as new polling shows Americans are increasingly dissatisfied with the job he's doing.
1 year ago, our country was dead. We were absolutely dead. Our country was ready to fail, totally failed. Now, we're the hottest country anywhere in the world.
A new Quinnipiac poll shows 65% of voters rate the state of the economy as poor or not so good, with 50% saying Trump's policies are making things worse. 64% of voters say the cost of living is a very serious problem, 28% saying it's somewhat serious. The president had promised an economic boom, yet nearly 1 year in office, inflation has stayed elevated and the job market has weakened sharply in the wake of his tariffs. The president quick to place the blame for economic challenges on Democrats.
This happened during a Democrat administration, and it's when we first began hearing the word affordability.
The president also addressing the issue of health care.
I want the money to go directly to the people so you can buy your own health care. You'll get much better health care at a much lower price.
However, the president offering no details or concrete plans. It comes as more than 20 million Americans are bracing for their insurance premiums to skyrocket when the Affordable Care Act subsidies expire at the end of the year. The president also announcing new tariff rebate checks of nearly $1,700 that will go to nearly 1.5 million military service members. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
The Powerball jackpot is nearing its highest point this year, with no winners on Wednesday. Friday's drawing is estimated at a staggering $1.5 billion, close to this year's record of nearly $1.79 billion. Remember, the odds of winning remain a daunting 1 in 292 million. The snow may not be falling in the Crossroads, but we still want to share your Christmas spirit. We're shining a spotlight on local homes lit up for the holidays, and we'd love to include yours. Each Friday leading up to Christmas will feature a different home that's spreading seasonal cheer, and beginning Monday, we'll showcase one home every day. If your decorations are ready for their close-up, now's the time to share them. If you see news happening, let us know. Call the number on your screen to contact our newsroom or email us your tips at staff@crossroadstoday.com. It's now 6:46 on our Thursday morning. Still to come on Sunrise. The final weekend before Christmas is shaping up to be historic. By this Saturday, could be different. All right, it's time to celebrate some birthdays. Happy birthday to Veronica. Happy birthday, Veronica, from Mona and the children.
Aw, happy birthday, Veronica. And also happy birthday and congratulations to our cake winner, Azalea. Happy 10th birthday to our baby girl. Wishing you a wonderful day filled with joy. And that's from Mom and Dad.
Happy birthday to Anita. Anita, happy birthday. Hope you have an amazing day filled with lots of laughs.
Happy birthday, Anita. And also happy birthday to Randy. Happy 37th birthday to Randy from his wife, children, and all his family. We love you so much. And to see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, you can come to crossroadstoday.com. Just click the drop-down menu, then click the Home tab, and then you'll see Submit Your Birthday Photo.
All right, it is now just about 6:48 on our Thursday morning. Happy birthday to Jennifer, and happy birthday to Angelina, and happy birthday to you if you're celebrating one today.
That's right. Happy birthday, y'all. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, good morning, Crossroads. I'm sure a lot of y'all heard me say that there's a cool front coming our way tonight. It's going to be here about 6 p.m. That's when you'll notice the winds starting to shift out of the north. But you may also notice because the temperatures will start falling a little bit. And how much will they fall? Well, we're looking at low temperatures tomorrow morning, Friday. You can see on your screen, we'll drop down into the low and mid 40s. But I want to let y'all know this is going to be our last cold, kind of coldish, chilly morning for the rest of the year, because the sun is going to continue and that's going to heat us up. Tomorrow on Friday, we're looking for high temperatures in the afternoon, looking near perfect at around 70 underneath that beaming sun. So y'all get out there and enjoy it before we warm up, because you can see Saturday morning, lows already a bit warmer. Lows are a little bit cool, but in the low 50s for Saturday morning. And then Saturday afternoon, yeah, look at that. We're going to be looking for about 80 on Saturday. And if we don't hit 80 on Saturday, I think we will on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Christmas Eve Wednesday, Christmas Day Thursday, and for the rest of 2025. And something interesting I totally forgot to mention all morning long. Look at this little snowflake right here on Sunday. This is the winter solstice, also the beginning of winter. Does that look like winter to you? I don't think so. Technically, that's going to be the shortest day of the year and the longest night of the year, because we're tilted furthest away from the sun at that time. But yeah, all thanks to high pressure combining into one, and that's going to park itself right over our heads. We're not going to look like December or winter with highs in the 80s. And we'll look at all of that and more later on Sunrise.
An annual survey reveals a record 158.9 million people are expected to shop on Super Saturday, the Saturday before Christmas. The figure surpasses last year's by over 1 million and breaks the 2022 record. Nearly half plan to shop both in stores and online. Additionally, 70% of people intend to shop the week immediately after Christmas. The U.S. government collects $1 billion in tariff revenue since closing a major shipping loophole this spring. The loophole, called the de minimis exemption, allowed shipments worth $800 or less to enter the U.S. duty-free. The Trump administration first suspended the rule for packages from China and Hong Kong, then expanded the policy to all countries. Stock markets face an AI slump and concerns that AI-connected companies have risen too high. The Nasdaq enters today's trading after dropping 1.8%. The S&P 500 posts its worst day in nearly a month, falling 1.2%. The Dow slips 0.5%. The Postal Service searches for new revenue sources. The Postmaster General warns the agency could run out of money by 2027. One potential solution could generate billions, expanding revenues from its last mile network, the final delivery step that brings packages to your door. Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. Flames and smoke in the Eastern Pacific, the U.S. military operation that turned deadly. The U.S. military has announced another strike on a suspected drug boat. According to the U.S. Southern Command, intelligence confirmed the vessel was involved in narco-trafficking operations along a known route in the Eastern Pacific. Video shows the boat being hit, erupting in flames and plumes of smoke. 4 people were killed. The House approved Republican-backed health care plan excluding Affordable Health Care Act subsidy extensions. The Lower Health Care Premiums for All Americans Act aims to reduce premiums for some while cutting subsidies and raising premiums for others. It includes expanding access to association health plans, pharmacy benefit manager transparency, and cost-sharing reduction payments starting in 2027. Top Senate Democrats have unveiled a new initiative aimed at reducing costs for Americans by 2026. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer previewed a proposal designed to combat the high cost of living. Democrats state that the plan will focus on 5 key areas: healthcare, energy, housing, groceries and household goods, and tariffs. They emphasize that blaming the previous administration for rising costs is unacceptable. FBI Director Dan Bongino has announced he will step down in January. Bongino, a former Secret Service agent, NYPD officer, and conservative podcaster, joined the Trump administration in March of this year. During his tenure at the Bureau, he experienced conflict with the DOJ leaders over the release of the Epstein files, but received praise for his efforts in helping capture the D.C. pipe bomb suspect. We want to invite you to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV. Just search for Crossroads Today Plus. And now, let's get a final look at our forecast with Parker, although it's hard to really get a clear picture this morning.
Yeah. Kind of hard to see anything this morning because we got some dense fog pretty much all around the crossroads this morning. Don't believe me? Here we go. You can see on your camera. This is looking southeastern Victoria city limits, right? Actually, this intersection you can kind of see there's a light right there. That is the bridge of Highway 59 meeting up with Loop 463, which moves like this. So we're looking at visibility right here on this screen, about less than a quarter of a mile. We're now actually looking at probably an 1/8 mile or less around Victoria County. All that thanks to the temperature dropping down to that dew point at 63. All that thanks to all of the rainwater that has fallen into the ground yesterday. But I want to let y'all know, like I said, it is not just Victoria or just the crossroads. Let's zoom out. It is all of South Texas and about 70–80% of the state of Louisiana that has that dense fog advisory until 10 a.m. So please stay safe on the roads before that fog burns off somewhere between 9, 10, maybe 11 in the morning time, and we'll heat up under the sunshine to 78 in Port Lavaca before a front gets here, like I said, 6 p.m. A little bit warmer in Victoria, high of 79 today, about mid-70s by noontime. Lots of sun, so grab the sunglasses. And the same in Cuero, 79 for the high today, sunny by afternoon time with the front getting here at 6. And then when the front passes, it will cool down one more time. You can see on the 7-day, low temperature starting up Friday morning in the 40s, but high temperature is 70 on Friday. That's going to be our last nice cool day of 2025 before we're warm all the way through Christmas. I can't believe I'm saying that.
It's a poolside Christmas. Thank you, Parker. Yeah. And thank you all for being with us this morning. Be sure to join Shona Dawn, Matt Clovio, and Matt today for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10.